The world's best-selling toothpaste brand, Colgate, whose success can be gauged from the fact that in most households, toothpaste is called Colgate, not a toothpaste. Now you tell me, what would be better brand than this? Colgate is the best-selling toothpaste in the world today, and it is used in 66 homes out of every 100. But do you know how the brand it is today got started? The early stages were marked by challenges and setbacks, each serving as invaluable lessons for the visionary behind the brand. Despite encountering difficulties and facing failures, the young entrepreneur remained resilient in pursuit of his business dream. Notably, faith, trust, and unwavering devotion to God emerged as the cornerstone elements that laid the strong foundation for what is now an internationally renowned brand. Traditional educational settings, stories that wield a subtle yet profound influence on our lives. I have an insatiable curiosity about origins, I must say, motivations, and the progress of various endeavors. I take pleasure in sharing these intriguing stories that both excite and leave me enlightened. So, if you share a similar passion for discovering untold tales that shape our world, consider subscribing and liking my content. Your support does not only motivate me, but also contributes to the growth of this channel and the spread of the good stories. So without further ado, let's embark on a journey of exploration and unravel the fascinating narratives that await us. Today, Colgate. How did I get to this rabbit hole? One day, as I stood before my mirror, marveling at my white, clean teeth and the refreshing sensation in my mouth after brushing, I found myself pondering the origins of such effective dental products. Questions flooded my mind. Who conceived the idea? How did they develop such a potent solution? Why was it created? And when did this innovation come into existence? The effectiveness wasn't just a claim on TV, surely. It resonated in the reality of my own teeth. Our story is about a man called William Colgate. William, that's his name. Colgate is his surname. He was born in Hollingbourne, Kent, England on January 25, 1783. In March 1798, William and his parents emigrated to Baltimore, Maryland, in the United States of America, and settled on a farm in Harford County, Maryland. It's said that from a very young age, William was interested in soap making, and at the age of 19, he started his own enterprise with his aunt's financial help. He produced soap under his own name. Sadly, the business was a failure. Though William had to close his initial business, he was determined to make a success of soap making in the near future. Interesting fact is that William Colgate was a strong devout Christian. His Christianity or Christian worldview is the one that marked the beginning of his flourishing business even after over centuries of its inception. More about that later. One day, William Colgate decided to leave his home and start working. After a few years, he moved to New York City in 1804 and got a job in a soap-making factory. While he was working there, he learned important lessons for his life and of course for his business that he had thought about. He understood the ins and outs of the business, noticed mistakes that people were making, his managers or supervisors, and saw how those mistakes could harm the business. After working for about 2 years in the same company, he left the factory. With the knowledge he had gained, he decided to start his own soap making business on a smaller scale, and that was in 1806. That's how William Colgate and Company began. This marked the beginning of a journey that would eventually lead to the global brand we now know today. As a devout Christian, he believed it was his duty to use his success to effect positive change in the world. He considered wealth a gift from God, meant to be used to help others and advance the cause of Christianity. During his business demise, though, he was approached and encouraged by his friend. William also read in the Bible book of Genesis 28, verse 20 to 21, about Jacob, who made a commitment to God as he left his home. Quote, "Then Jacob made a vow to the Lord, 'If you will be with me and protect me in the journey I am making, and give me food and clothing, and if I return safely to my father's home, then you will be my God, and I will give you a tenth of everything you give me.'" End quote. William prayed the same prayer, and this verse became his motto as he ventured in the world of business. It's also said that his friend had advised him that, quote, "Start right and you will go well. Be a good man. Give your heart to Christ. Give God all that belongs to him. Make an honest soap and God will prosper you." End quote. Indeed, William decided to honor God and give him the first place in all his endeavors. He also decided that he would give 1/10 of his earnings to God. William opened an account in the name of God, and then he would donate that money for good works. As his business grew, so his profit, and he also increased the Lord's stock. And then gradually he started donating 50% of his profit. So it was no longer 10% or the tithe itself was now 50%. When William started his new business on Dutch Street, he made a commitment to give 10% of his first earnings to God. He prioritized God in both his life and career, sticking to the covenant he had made. This marked the inception of William Colgate and Company Ethical Values, a business that would go on to dominate the global cosmetic market. In the 1940s, the company began selling individual cakes of soap in uniform weights. What began with the production of laundry soap quickly expanded into a diverse range of products in a surprisingly short period of time. March 25, 1857, Colgate passed away, and the company was reorganized as Colgate and Company under the management of his similarly devout Baptist son, Samuel Colgate, who did not want to continue the business but thought it would be the right thing to do. In 1872, he introduced Cashmere Bouquet, a perfumed soap. Only in 1873, the company introduced its first Colgate toothpaste, an aromatic toothpaste sold in jars. So 13 years later, what we know now as a Colgate toothpaste was manufactured after the founder's passing. Wow, an interesting fact. Today, Colgate and Palmolive manufactures products in different categories across the globe, such as oral care, personal care, home care, and pet care. Companies under Colgate include Colgate itself, the Colgate toothpaste, Heal Pet Nutrition, that's food for their pets, Palmolive, Sanex, Maridol, Starsoft, Elmex, Protex. Personally, this was a very interesting read for me. And you, what about you? I was not aware of so many brands that belong to Colgate, and I do not even think I would have even guessed. One thing I know, I have been quite a lover of Colgate toothpaste from a very young age. Now my go-to type is the original brand. If not, I go for the salty one. Another surprise is I only go for Protex, no other soap. It just feels genuine and effective to me, both these products. Tell me in the comment section what was most interesting for you. Do you think you like Colgate? Do you like Colgate toothpaste? Have your perceptions about Colgate and Palmolive products changed in some way? What can I look at in the future? Well, we have come to the end of the rabbit hole. I thoroughly enjoyed it and I hope you did. On that note, please subscribe to me on my YouTube channel and like the video. In that way, you support my growth. You can also hit a notification bell so you do not miss any newly uploaded content.